Phil and Will are back, and today we have our first fantasy game. We've been thinking for a while about how to overcome in case there's a bootless spoiler thing, but Will came up with a pretty good idea. Anyway, if you haven't listened to some of our previous podcasts in the off season, we've been doing a lot of stuff in terms of like winner rankings, non-winner rankings. So you should check those out. We also last week talked about the tribe split ups, which were announced by Redmond. So if you want to check out all that stuff, you can go back in our little archives. But now we're getting into like all completely season 31, second chances, starting with the fantasy games, which we kept saying we were going to have so many of them because we had so many weeks. This one's for the Buffs, and we didn't want to do the boot list in case a bootless spoiler came out, considering all these people are known. So we came up with something else. Actually, Willie came up with something else. So Willie, go ahead, explain it. Tell everybody what it is.
Okay. Like Phil said, we just were kind of getting worried about doing a bootless game for the Buffs just because, there's a good chance some spoilers are out there. There probably are, not just the winner, but many boots probably have been spoiled. And even if they haven't, it just the whole idea that it could be just isn't as fun to us. So we have a new idea. It's a prop bet game. We're going to have 20 bets, just kind of small bets. Some having to do with the game. Some are kind of fun. Some about voting, some about editing. And you have to use each castaway's name once. And then you fill in your sheet, or you would post it in the comments. And then you can assign point values. This might sound a little complicated. It's not too tricky. You'll assign point values to each bet. You have 40 points to use. You have to put at least 1 point on every bet. And then you can only use 3 maximum for each bet. And then the winner at the end of the season with the most points will win the buff. We're thinking last for the boot list, we had 3 buffs up for grabs because we said 1 buff for 25 entries, but we've more than doubled in size with subscribers wise. So now it's going to be 1 buff for 50 entries.
Yeah, and a max of 5 buffs. So if we go over 250 somehow, just 5.
Yeah, I don't think we'll hit 250, but yeah, just in case we do, we're capping it at 5 because buffs, they add up. So I don't know, Phil, how was my explanation there? It's going to make more sense when we start explaining the bets, but there's going to be 20 bets. You have to use all the castaways once, and then if you feel confident about a certain bet, like I really think someone's going to be on the jury. If that ends up being one of our bets, then you would put 3 points on that. And then instead of just winning 1 point, you'd win 3 when we total up the scores.
Yeah, and what's going to be the biggest problem here is you have to use every person's name once. And yeah, we realize that the person who wins might also be the same person who has the most confessionals or something like that. Like we don't even know what our props are here. This episode is just us talking about the prop bets. We're not actually putting down what our things are. So like we're not doing our picks. We're going to do a whole nother podcast for that. But we do realize that Terry could be 3 different things. But
there's going to be overlap for sure. Right. So there's going to be overlap, and that's part of like the strategy when you fill it out. Try to, maximize your point total. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of things out there, and like we said, now we don't even know what the 20 are. I have a good amount. Phil has a good amount. We're going to kind of rattle them off, see what we like, and then at the end of this podcast, we're going to put the 20 bets in the description, so you'll be able to see it. And to submit to the game, these are the rules for submitting. We're going to have number 1 to 20 because we're going to have 20 and they're going to be numbered. Make that easy. And then you just have each person's name by each number. And then after their name, you're going to put either 1, 2, 3 for how many points you want to wager on each prop bet. So it should be a number 1 to 20 and then all the castaways and then another number. That's how it should look. I don't think that's too hard.
Like a test, guys. Don't mess this up because I know a lot of times what would happen even with the boot list, people would double up names and stuff like that. So pay attention. Make sure you're not doubling up names, and make sure you actually pay attention to this video, because otherwise you might mess up. And it's going to be hard for us to reach out to a lot of people because this one's a little more complex than the boot list.
Yeah, and that's why we're getting started early on it too. I'll put a sample, like I guess what are we calling this bet list? A sample bet list. I'll put it in the description so that you can see a clear like template of what you're supposed to do. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Let's start talking about what they're going to be.
Okay. Oh, also, you have to subscribe also to That's our way of promoting ourselves. But we're the ones buying the buffs, so I think that's totally fair and okay to do.
And we actually did buy the buffs. We
Yeah,
actually did
we still
last
have to get one more out. Jokesters just replied, so we're going to get him his buff. But yeah, we gave out 3 buffs last year. We'll probably give out around maybe three to 5 this year.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think we should get into this and start talking about what these little prop things are. And you have more, so I mean, I kind of want to hear where your head's at first. Maybe like rattle off 1 or 2 and see what you're thinking here.
I think the first thing we want to decide is should we have winner and first boot? Phil and I are debating pretty heavily about that. Just because if the whole point of this game is to avoid people knowing spoilers, getting an advantage, that's why we're not doing the boot list. If we include first boot and winners in the winner, it's a little tricky.
Yeah, and now we're still going to do a bootless podcast, and people can still submit them, but it's not going to be for the buff this year. So we're still going to do them.
Right.
I think the scary part with this is you saw it last year when we did the boot list. Everybody knew So Kim was going first a week out of Survivor last year.
Yeah.
She was in nowhere to be found in episode 2. Sometimes with the editing and stuff like that. So first boot's tricky. Winner, I think you could get away with because technically nobody's supposed to know the winner until it's actually shown at the live reunion. We could probably get away with the winner more.
All right, we should have the winner on here.
I think
let's put that as our.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's put that in as our first prop bet. Who will win Survivor Second Chances? And remember, you can only use each name once. So if you put someone as the winner, you can't have them for any of the other bets. So that will be the first one. I think first boot we should just get rid of just because last year we had all these bootless submissions. Then like our last, I think 15 or so all had like at 90% of them had So going first. So it was pretty clear that it was spoiled.
And not for nothing, like 2 of the 3 people who did win had So as the first boot last year. So I mean, who knows? I don't think they actually entered late, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just saying, like that first boot did have a huge play on that. So if they did get any information, that kind of takes some of the fun out of it. We're trying to avoid every single spoiler that we can here.
Okay, so that will be number 1. Will be who will the winner be? Okay, let's hear from you, Phil. What do you got? Give me one.
All right, I had something. I was still going along the lines of boots. I separated mine. I only had a couple, but I separated mine into there was boots, then there was something like that actually involved gameplay, and then I had some things that kind of CBS does with the editing. And one of the ones I thought was kind of funny, and I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but they're going to do it because they love it. I think it would be kind of funny if we did the first person to get the hashtag blindside boot. Like whoever gets voted off with the first hashtag blindside, because they love their hashtags so much. And I feel like that would be something that's kind of funny where it's like you literally can't predict that. That cannot be spoiled. There is no way to spoil that, and that is just complete luck.
Okay, sure. So it'll be and this is at Tribal Council, right? Like once the votes come out.
After somebody gets voted out of the game, I want to see the hashtag blindside because it's going to be there.
Okay, so number 2 prop bet is hashtag blindside. Who will be hashtag blindsided first? The first person. Or should we just make it a general thing? Like, this person will be hashtag blindsided.
Well, that's true, because it doesn't even have to be the first one. If you're
it doesn't have to be one thing.
Because you could always put, somebody like Cass, and she might be the 4th one who gets hashtag blindsided. We could just do name somebody who's going to be a hashtag blindside boot, which these days might be all 20 of them, the way that Survivor throws up the hashtag blindside.
Right. Okay.
So forget first, just hashtag blindside boot.
Yeah, the way I'm setting up the bets is there's a blank space, and then it's will with the word will, and then the bet. So it's blank will be hashtag blindsided. We'll get the hashtag blindside.
Yeah.
Okay. I have this one's a gameplay one. I don't know if we want to use this one, but we'll successfully play an idol on himself or herself.
That can work because I was kind of a little weirded out with the idol ones. I like the idol ones, but my biggest thing with the idol ones is it might not happen, which I guess comes into the whole do you wager 1 or 3 points. Some of the things we want to make sure are going to happen. We don't want 15 of these things to not happen. There's got to be a winner. The hashtag blindside thing's going to pop up. I mean, who knows? Maybe this goes through and nobody actually plays an idol successfully, though.
Yeah, that could happen. We could change it. What do you think is more likely, someone playing an idol successfully or unsuccessfully?
I don't know. That's hard because like it's almost like are you somebody like who this person will find an idol? Do we you do that or could like do you not want to do that? Would you rather it be playing it for themselves successfully?
I think it's more fun if there's some consequence to it, not just finding one. How about like what if someone gets voted out with possession of an idol? Or is that just too specific?
That one might be too hard. I think it might be easier if it's like the person who actually like maybe somebody who does play it successfully for themselves because you can wager 1 or 2 points and I guess that's part of the fun in betting it is like will anybody even find an idol?
Yeah, I feel like we should do it. We should do one. We should have one idol prop bet, and it shouldn't be just finding it. It should be kind of specific. It's okay. There's going to be 20 bets, so if one or two don't happen, it's not like the end of the
Somebody's
world.
gonna play an idol. Somebody's probably gonna play an idol. I would say we have like an 80% shot that they play one successfully.
Yeah. So let's do
Let's throw it.
successfully. Does it need to be on himself or herself, or can it be on
No,
anybody?
just successfully play an idol.
Successfully play an idol. It doesn't need to be on himself or herself. So successfully play an idol, which means you play it for yourself and you receive the most votes, or you play it for someone else and that person receives the most votes.
It's Jen. If like what Jen did last season, she got the most votes and she didn't go home.
Right. Um, okay. Um, how about the double vote? Do we think that's going to be back? And should that be a bet if it is?
I don't think it's gonna be back.
You don't. See, I think
I
it will be.
do you really? I don't know. I think because they hadn't shot this season and they kind of saw how the double vote played out perfect last season. But I think if we're going to see the double vote, it's going to be in season 32, not this one. It still could be in this one, but I think there's a better chance of it being in the next season because it was supposed to be 31.
Right, but I think aren't both these seasons they got to see Worlds Apart, right? Or no? Did 31
No,
not
the
see the
32 did not see. Or Co-Row, whatever. The other
pro?
Cambodia, not second chances, didn't get to see it.
Okay. So we don't want to do anything with the double vote just because we're not sure if it's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, would you want to do person with the most votes against them?
I had one in here that they will receive more than 10 throughout the course of the season, not including winner votes.
Okay, that one works because that's
Then it's
because like
just
you're
not
not
one
gonna,
person. There might be multiple people that receive 10 votes.
yeah, exactly. So that kind of I do like it if we keep it open so that multiple people can get it. I had a lot of firsts and most and stuff like that, but I guess it does work if you get this person will get more than 10 votes in the season. Because then if you look at somebody like Cass or Abby Marie and you think they're going to be the first boot, the most they can get is 9.
Right,
So
exactly. So it's
okay,
kind of, but they're also likely if they stay, they're going to keep getting votes. So it's definitely
exactly.
hard. What do you think of the number 10? Do you think that's too high or too low, or do you like that number?
You know what? I'm actually going to look right now and see. I want to kind of see because I know like in older seasons, like the person with the most votes might end up with like 11 or 12, and then nobody else would be over. Like, do a lot of people go over 10 nowadays, especially with a 20-person start?
Yeah, there is a 20-person start. Obviously don't look at any Redemption Island seasons. I mean,
Yeah,
Ozzy was voted out 3 times. So
yeah.
um, I think this should be more about a person who you think is going to kind of get maybe one or two, 3 or 4 votes, but stay in the game. That's who you kind of want to pick for this. So I don't know if 10 is the right number.
It's
Uh,
almost who was it last year? Who would get votes all the time? Shireen got votes a lot last time.
Jen got votes a lot too.
Jen got votes a lot, but did any of them go over 10?
Jen went over 10 for sure. Just that
Is
whole
this
idol thing.
counting though when she played the idol successfully?
Yeah, those count, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Should those count? That's a good question.
Because if they don't count Jen still went over 10. I think 10's a good number because I think 10 is something like I remember like back in Africa, Lex was like 14 or something, and a lot of times somebody who's a target, especially in a season like this, might be a target for a long time.
Yeah, let's do 10.
All
I
right.
don't know. That sounds good to me. Okay, so
Okay.
we have blindsided. Hashtag blindsided was number 2. We'll successfully play an idol is number 3. And then number 4 is going to be we'll receive more than 10 total votes the entire season, including votes negated by an idol, but not including winner votes.
Okay. That's a long one.
Yeah, I mean, it just you have to be specific here.
Well, okay, you
Um,
do person will have 10 plus votes against them. Like you don't have to because then they're not going to get winner votes aren't against them. So
okay, that makes sense.
you know what I mean?
Sure, we'll
Yeah.
receive more than 10 total votes against them.
Yep.
Okay. Are you thinking of doing any other boot ones? Like, I think the only other one that maybe could be one is the merge boot.
I had the merge boot written down.
I had it in here too, but I'm thinking it's only going to be one person at 20. So there's a chance no one even guesses it right. And it's something that can be spoiled pretty easily. It's very definite.
Um, my only thing with the merge boot,
You
even
love
if
the
we did,
merge boot. I mean, you love merge boots.
I do love the merge boot, but my thing is also like if we do too many things where there could be multiple people doing it, I think we have a better chance to get a tie. Where if we have some that are like really definite, this might be where people kind of pull away because the max is 40 here. So we don't have as much room to play as we did with the bootless challenge, where there was a lot of like wiggle room, where people could end up with 150 or they could end up with 20.
Yeah, I think with the betting though, that's going to separate ties. I think that's the idea behind the betting, or that
Yeah.
you can put three or or two or one. I think we should hold the merge boot back and then see if we need it later. Bring
Okay.
it in. This is one that I do like just because it covers a lot of. This one will cover a lot of people and it's very simple. It's just someone blank will be a member of the jury.
Yeah, that works because that's probably going to cover 6 to 7 people.
Oh yeah, at least
You know what I
seven.
mean? Like
Yeah.
that's one that like if you don't get those points, like that's like one of those if you don't get those points, you might screw yourself there.
Right. And it's like you could be, you fill in someone's name and then they make the merge and the jury starts and you're yes. And then they make it to the final three, and they're not on
Exactly.
the jury. So
Somehow
that
you
would be
get Will
fun.
or you know
Yeah, if you would Will or Carolyn,
Carolyn.
yeah, that could be fun. So that will be our fifth bet is blank will be a member of the jury.
Okay.
All right, give me one, Phil.
Oh man, dude, mine are so brutal because they were all most since. Hang on, I'm writing down 1 to 20 over here.
But we can talk it out,
Yeah, exactly. It's like therapy right now because
Yeah.
um. Okay, what? Well, do you think that most individual immunities is one we should do? Or
I had one that blank will win an immunity challenge. I mean, how many
individual?
people? Yeah,
Yeah,
individual immunity. How many people are going to win individual immunities? Like maybe four
six,
people, five
four,
people.
five. Yeah.
Because
Last
a lot
year, how
of
many won? 3.
yeah, Mike, Carolyn, and Tyler. I think that was it.
And Joe.
Oh, and Joe. Okay, so 4 last year. So I wouldn't like this season. We have 20 castaways. I would see probably 6 people would be my guess, which
Yeah.
I think is fine. It's like you got to pick someone who's going to win individual immunity. So it's got to be someone who makes the merge, and someone that isn't too big of a threat. Because if they get voted out after maybe they lose one challenge and they get voted out, that could happen too. So I think that's a fun one. So not saying most, but who will just win the
Yeah,
one.
individual immunity is fine. Like I said, I did a lot with the what do you call it? Most. Hang on. Joe, Carolyn, Mike, and Tyler are the only ones who won last year. Yeah, and Tyler only won once, so it very easily could have been 3 of them.
Right. Okay,
All
so
right.
that'll be number 6. We'll win an individual immunity challenge.
Okay.
Alrighty. How about a medevac? What do we think?
I don't know about medevac or quit. I don't think there are any medevacs on this season.
Supposedly, it's a really, really brutal location.
Yeah, but I think that it came out that for the other season there were a bunch of medevacs. For this one there weren't any.
Oh, it came out already that there
I'm
weren't.
pretty sure there are no medevacs for this season. I don't know if there's any quitters, but I don't think
No
that
one's gonna
there's
quit. No one's gonna
no.
quit. You
I don't
really
think there's any medevacs.
okay? So
And if
yeah,
anybody's still listening right now and you do know of a medevac and you know who the person is, don't say anything because we don't want to know any spoilers. We talked about this in our last podcast.
good
We don't want to
call.
know anything.
Yeah, we forgot to say that. Please, if you know something, please don't.
Like if you know somebody quits, if you know somebody's medevac, if you know somebody got eaten by a shark, don't tell us. We don't want to know. Like we really don't. And don't spoil it for the people who watch this and just happen to read the YouTube comments and didn't realize. So please, no spoilers, please. That means no direct messages with spoilers on Twitter either, because that sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't think we should do medevac though, because I don't think there are any medevacs. I think Redmond had said that there were no medevacs this season, but there were like a bunch with cast and crew in the last one.
Okay, that's fine. So we're still at 6 here. How about we'll get the most confessionals in the premiere?
Okay, in the premiere, I did have a most confessionals one because I think that the confessionals thing is fun, and I think most confessionals in the premiere is fun because last year it was Carolyn with like 13 or something insane.
Yeah,
so.
It's very random. I mean, often it's the first boot. Often it's sometimes I think it's very rare that it's actually the winner.
Yeah.
So it could really be anybody, and it depends usually on who loses the challenge.
And what's crazy about this season is, do they, there's so many people. Do they focus on Wigglesworth or do they focus on Shireen? You know what I mean? Like they have people who haven't played in 15 years, and they have people who just played last season, and we already know these people. So who were the camera hogs and who weren't? Maybe Kelly Wentworth comes out and gets the most confessionals in the premiere somehow.
Maybe. We'll have to answer these ourselves when we do our next podcast. Okay, so that's number 7. Who will get most confessionals in the premiere? So that's just one person can win you that bet.
Yeah, I have one here, and this is once again an editing one. But should we do one with somebody who cries, or first person to cry, or somebody who cries? Like this person will cry because every year somebody's crying on this show.
Yeah, I actually do have one with crying. It's pretty different. It's blank will. Where is it? Will be in the game when the loved one's visit happens, but won't cry.
Well, maybe we could. I mean, maybe we could do both of those though. I wouldn't be opposed to, even if we did this, like the first person to cry and then the loved one visit, or even if we did one, because crying is such a big part of this show right now.
It really is.
It really is. I mean, ever since Philippines, it's been pretty unreal how often everybody cries every single season now.
I mean, even before that, we had Dawn crying in South Pacific too.
Yeah, that's true. She was really the start of it all, and then Lisa Welcher was just a different level.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean, we had Sugar and Gabon. I mean, we've had criers. There's been criers. I mean, you're right. It's a big part of Survivor. Are we going to have 2 crying bets? It's pretty crazy.
Do you think that the loved one thing is too specific, or should we just make the loved one thing like this person will make the loved one challenge?
That's almost like this person will be a member of the jury.
Yeah, but you have to. But here's my thing with that. Let's say Joe makes the jury but doesn't make the loved one challenge, and you put him for the loved one challenge, and you put somebody like, I don't know, Kelly Wentworth for the loved one challenge, and she only makes the jury and doesn't. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about not crying would be a good bet. I don't know. Is there a time when I don't know if there's another time when we can get specific enough to say this person won't cry?
Yeah, because if you think about last year. Rodney cried. Everybody cried last year, right? Except for they all cried last year, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All I can think about is Eric Reichenbach and Fans vs. Favorites, like with his brother, like going absolutely insane, like hugging him and just pointing at Jeff Probst, like not crying though, like just so excited.
Right? Yeah, just excited. No, I think that's what the bet is here for the not crying. How about we take these 2 crying bets and put them on the back burner, along with the merge boot? Those are 3. We'll just see how many. If we have too many or not enough, then we can kind of tweak it.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Because another one. I mean, still talking about Fans vs. Favorites. There, James probably had the greatest meeting of a family member ever in that season. When he just walked up to his dad, hugged him, barely even said hi, and then just turned and walked away. Like it was freaking hysterical.
Yeah, like that could easily imagine like Savage or Terry, these kind of like older manly men. You know, are they gonna cry?
I don't think Terry cried back in Panama, but I remember that was when people first started to think that he was like kind of a dick because he was like telling Aris that him and his mom weren't as important as Terry and his loved one and whoever else in their loved one. I don't remember if it was.
Yeah,
Sari,
I remember that. Right.
But I think that was Sari because wasn't her husband just pure gold on TV?
Yeah, his name is oh man,
he was gold.
I forget his name. It's good though. He's great. He was having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put those. Yeah, we'll leave those aside. I have some interesting ones. I think blank will mention the name Boston Rob or Russell.
Ooh.
Not Russell as in feathers.
No, like ooh, that's a good one.
And then
Because they
I have the same thing, but for Sandra and Parvati.
I think both of those. I mean, they pretty much shoot. They find a way to get one of them in, right? Like they try to mention. Did they mention them in Worlds Apart?
Oh yeah, Russell comes up all the time, and
Because
then Boston. Same with Boston Rob. And honestly, every chick is like every guy who's like, oh, she's a Parvati, you know, like.
yeah,
And
I
then
think those would
Sandra
both be
gets brought up.
Sandra and Parvati and Boston Rob and Russell. I like both of those. Like I'm trying to think. Maybe like another one too. Like I don't know. Like if you have anything. Do you have anything else about previous seasons?
No, those are my only two where just yeah, there's the one with the two kind of biggest guys and then the two biggest
Okay.
chicks.
I mean, I like both of those because they do get mentioned all the time. But it's always like what was it? It was Coach in Heroes versus Villains, or not Heroes versus Villains in South Pacific, just talking about how Brandon was Russell walking around the island again. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I would do those.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put Boston Rob and Russell. That's going to be at 8, and then 9 will be we'll mention Sandra or Parvati. And it's
Okay.
not Russell as in feathers. We're not going to count it.
Yeah, it's got to be Russell.
Okay, so we're at 9 right now.
Even if it's Russell Swan, we'll even take Russell Swan.
Will we?
Yeah, why not? They're probably going to call him Russell. That would be even funnier if it was Russell Swan.
Okay, fine. I don't see that happening. I don't think someone's going to mention Russell Swan.
I know, but we can hope.
Maybe Monica Padilla will.
Yeah,
She very easily could.
yeah, yeah. So I think Russell Swan even. Wow, we just gave people a little hint there.
Yeah, maybe people are going to start filling Monica in for that one.
Maybe.
I shouldn't have said anything.
No, should have kept that to yourself. That's a good secret to have. Anyway, keep going because I really don't have many more that are that interesting. So just keep going, and we'll just keep talking about some of these.
Okay.
This is the Will show now.
We'll be blindfolded at some point during a challenge.
Okay. Yeah, that one's good. They pretty much do a blindfold challenge every season, right?
Yeah, not everybody gets blindfolded. There's
Yeah.
at least one caller. I don't know, it'd be lame if like the first challenge is like a blindfold challenge and then everyone gets points for this.
Except for the two callers, which would be hysterical if you
Which
put
is
one of
kind
the
of
two
funny
callers.
too.
Yeah.
All right, so we good with that one?
Yeah.
So that's our number 10
We're
is
halfway there.
we are. All right, you give me one now.
I just told you I don't have any.
You come on, you have a couple more.
All right, I have. Already did that one. Did that? Did my cry? I mean, would you do like a first confessional thing or something like that? That's always fun.
Who will get the very first confessional?
I mean, people always like. I remember like looking at Edgic stuff when people get like the first confessional. Like, what does it mean?
I don't think winners get the first confessional that much.
I don't think they ever have. Or how about instead of that, like who will be like the first person to not get a confessional for an episode? Because this is an all returning season.
Okay, I think that's a better one because we already have a confessional one with the premiere,
Yeah.
so we don't want to have two confessional ones and they both be about the premiere. Who'll be?
You can't do we'll never get well like we'll have an episode without a confessional because that happens to almost everybody. I think everybody last year except for Rodney, Mike, and Jen didn't get a confessional in like an episode.
I mean, yeah, and once they get voted off, they're not going to get a confessional.
Well, those don't count obviously. They have to be in the game.
Right. Okay. Um, okay, so first, who will be the first person or one of the first people to?
Yeah, because if it happens in the same episode,
Yeah,
and you
it's probably going to be episode 2, dude. That's my.
yeah, it won't be the premiere because they've been pretty good about the premieres getting everybody at least some screen time.
But I think it's just going to be episode 2, and then it's I don't know. We don't want these bets to kind of be over, early. I don't know.
Keep it
I
on
like
the
what
back burner.
I like what you're thinking though.
You asked.
So you think doing blank will go an entire episode without a confessional that obviously that they're a part of, that they're still in the game. Do you think
Yeah.
that's just too easy? You think everyone that happens to everybody?
That happens to pretty much everyone in the season, and except for like the winner
See,
and
but this one we're doing it's 2 tribe start. And so I feel like that happens more on 3 tribe start where they have to spend when the losing team goes to immunity, it's only 6 people that you're hearing from in that whole time prior to tribal council. But in a 2 tribe start, you have half the cast that you're hearing from. So I feel like it's less likely.
yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how to attack that one because I think that you don't want to make it too easy because I do know. I mean, I'm just thinking about Samoa because we mentioned Monica Padilla and Russell Swan, and I think everybody in that season had an episode where they didn't get a confessional except for Russell.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know Natalie had like a string of 8 or something ridiculous.
I feel like Mick and Jason were pretty consistently getting confessionals too, and Shambo.
I mean, all we really have to go off of is sucks, right? Are they the only ones who really keep
I
track
don't
of
know.
it?
I think we throw this one on the back burner too.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm still gonna
figure
look
out.
real quick, but
Yeah, no, you should. Okay, I'll call out a new one. I don't know if we want to do this one. It's just a simple. We'll plead their case to the jury at the final tribal council,
that pretty much just means that they're in the final 3, right?
or 2. Right. I know it's kind of like you're getting kind of 2 shots at the winner there. It kind of feels like that's my only problem with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like to me. I mean,
Okay,
that's
let's not do that then.
that's like another boot thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was just wondering because it is, there you can get to the end and not win, and that is, you know, pretty significant.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's another one. If we really run out of things, we might have to.
Okay.
I'm looking. I'm just going off San Juan del Sur right here. The only people who didn't have episodes without a confessional, obviously Nadia because she went first. Val, Rocker. Those are the first 3 boots, and then the only other one was Jeremy. Everybody else had an episode without a confessional, including Natalie.
Yeah, it's tough.
In Cagayan, Tony was consistent. Cass was consistent. Spencer was consistent. Tasha, and then once again, the first 3 or 4 boots. So, actually, Cagayan was pretty evenly edited because then Sarah as well.
Wow.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
I don't know. We'll think on it. Let's
Yeah.
go through some more here. I should have mentioned this one earlier when we were doing the 10 votes. I have one that will receive less than 5 total votes the entire season.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like one of my things was we'll have 0 votes, but yeah, the less than 5 is good for the whole season.
Okay. And is it 5 or less, or is it less than 5? Are we including 5 or not?
Yeah, we'll include 5. Go 5.
Okay. We'll receive 5 or
Are
less.
we counting 10 for the other one?
I think we should.
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be 5 or less, and then 10 or more.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to type this here. Okay, so now we are at we have 11 bets.
Yeah.
Okay. How about we'll give up a reward?
Yeah, I like that one because that's been a big thing lately.
It's happened a lot, and I don't think it should include like when Jeff says, or you can get this for the whole tribe. I feel like that's just like everyone says yes to that. I mean, we can still include it, but I don't think that's as giving up a reward.
No, I think it should be like what Natalie did in San Juan del Sur, where she would literally just give up every reward she won.
Yeah, San Juan del Sur was crazy with that.
Yeah.
Did it happen in Worlds Apart? I mean, there was so much talk of it, someone giving their reward to Rodney.
Yeah, I don't think it ever happened though.
I'm trying to think. I've been rewatching some recent seasons. It seems to happen a good amount. People saying, like Monica did it in Blood vs. Water. I think Albert did something in South Pacific. It does happen.
I mean, Yao-Man did it in like the most famous one.
Right.
So I think it has happened throughout the years.
Yeah, Jamie did it in Guatemala. He like went a step down.
Yeah, which I guess that would count. Well, no, that was also giving it to the whole tribe.
No, that wasn't. I guess everybody went up one, but
Yeah.
I would consider like because he had a pretty nice meal. Like he got like third or fourth place, and then went all the way to a cup of rice.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to be the judges of it because that wasn't something that was presented to him. It wasn't like Jeff was like, or you can do this. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
more,
That's true. That's true.
or like
It's
someone winning a chocolate cake at the auction, like, and everybody has a minute to eat it, like, or
yeah.
something like that. Like,
That
that's
was
not giving up
yeah.
a reward for the.
No, I agree with
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So we'll be the judges on that, and for all of these, because who else would be?
Yeah, and if somebody's winning, we're gonna screw you out of it. So,
Yeah, of course.
all right. So we'll not, or we'll give up a reward. Okay.
So that's number 12.
Okay.
Okay. You have any?
Trying to think. I'm trying to think in terms of editing more because I do like some of the editing ones because I like. It's almost like we're poking fun at the way Survivor has started to edit it as compared to how they did it originally.
How about we'll get like the dumb, silly music.
You're talking like
I don't know. Doesn't that happen a lot, or am I kind of just
no, it makes sense, but then again, somebody,
how do we word it?
Yeah, exactly. You got to make sure everybody knows what the dumb, silly music is.
Remember when, I don't know, it happens so often. It just goes like dun 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 dun. It's like clown. It's like a carnival music. I don't know how to describe it.
I don't know.
Like Rodney got it a lot in Worlds Apart.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know.
It's a little subjective. Like, are they doing it for multiple people or one person? What if someone's on the screen but it's not directed towards them? I mean, we have to be pretty specific here.
Yeah, I think that's like my biggest problem with that one is it could just like people could make an argument for so many ways on it.
Okay, so let's put that on the back burner.
Okay,
I was just thinking in terms of editing.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I mean, I think that the editing ones are more clever and people will get more of a kick out of it if they get it right, as opposed to just like who was the first boot, who was the winner,
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a couple more that I think are kind of interesting. We'll see. How about this one? I don't know if you're gonna like this one. Blank will at some point wear their buff around their leg or ankle. What do you think?
I mean that one you could probably research in older seasons. Like how did they wear it the first time?
I've been looking out for it actually because I've been doing some rewatches and I've been looking. Does anyone wear the buff like not on their head or on their arm? And I don't know if I've seen it.
A lot of them tube top it.
Yeah.
A lot of them tube top it, and then Lex had the best one ever. He wore it as a little what do you call it? The pocket thing. He used to wear it as the pocket thing. He would fold it up. He was the only one.
Oh, pocket square.
Yeah, he was like the only one in the history of the show to like not actually wear his buff. He just put it in the pocket.
Well, Bob did a bow tie.
Yeah, but he was still wearing it. Like Lex literally wasn't wearing his buff. He just put it in his clothes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
He
that.
put it in his pocket.
Okay, yeah.
Going, but
yeah, I mean, do you think someone's gonna put it around their ankle or knee or leg or thigh or any below the waist? Wear the buff below the waist?
I don't know. Would that count like the when like the girls wear it as pants half the time?
See, I don't. Yeah, no, that can't count.
Exactly. That one might just favor the girls too much.
Right. I think it should be like knee or ankle or one thigh, like one leg. If you're rocking it around two legs, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have to use this one. I just thought it was something.
I don't know if we should use that. I mean, I think we have a lot that we just keep throwing to the back burner, and we're gonna have to go back through the back burner and figure out which ones are the best.
We will. But
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That one will be back burner. Okay. How about this? We'll give Jeff a hug.
I like that because now they're all gonna I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one.
So this will be number 13. And this is not including the reading of the votes or the reunion show. This has to be out on the island. Can't be once because a lot of people will hug Jeff once their name's called.
And an arm around the neck counts.
No.
Come on.
What?
All right, fine.
I feel like that happens all the time, though. We want like a hug.
All right.
Maybe once they get voted out. Maybe if they win immunity at the auction.
Oh, so it does count when they're voted out.
Yeah, I'm just not saying at like the reunion show.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
But
at the reunion show it doesn't count. But yeah, yeah. If they get voted off the island, like Sarah went and whatever her name is went and kissed them, that counts.
did she hug him though?
I don't know. She just kind of stared at him and kissed him, which is probably
I
the.
don't think that was a hug. I'm talking of hug. It does happen. It doesn't happen like every episode, but it will happen.
Yeah. Oh
Someone
yeah.
will hug
Somebody will
Jeff.
run over and grab Jeff, and especially on a season with returning players where they know.
Exactly.
How does
Right.
I mean? We might as well just put who will make out with Jeff and just write Savage's name in. You know, like by make out I mean kiss too. God, guys, dirty
It's a
minds.
hug. It's a hug.
I
It's
know.
got to be a hug.
I was gonna say too, how great we could have done the last name one. That was like what I thought originally, but like everybody would just write Savage down for that because that's the easiest one in the world. So
Or
damn you, Savage.
Wigglesworth or Wentworth because there's two Kellys.
God damn it! Well, you're so close. That would have been a good one because it's always funny on the new seasons to see which one Jeff just starts calling by their last name.
Yeah, someone might ask for it, like Cochran.
Exactly, like Cochran.
Okay, we're at 13 now. We have to get 7 more here. We have a lot on the back burner. I think I have one more that I haven't said yet. We'll give school supplies / toys to kids.
Okay, I mean, so
It's more gamey than you think because they have to kind of be in the merge. It's someone that you probably don't want to be your winner. Don't want to be #blindsided. Maybe.
I mean, Cass would have gotten this in Cagayan.
Yeah. Mike would have gotten it. Carolyn would have gotten it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it.
Yeah, Wu would have gotten it. No, it's pretty. I think they've done it every season since
a new location. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Did they do it in Blood vs. Water?
I don't remember because Blood vs. Water didn't really have rewards.
It's very true.
This season's going to have rewards, so they're probably going to do it.
Right.
I mean, once again, though, if like 3 or 4 of these things don't happen, you better just hope that you put 1 point on it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that it should be.
Or you can double down on it and say, "Wow, if it does happen and I do get it right, I'm going to take a huge lead."
I think that there should be some things that might not happen.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Okay, so that will be number 14. We'll give school supplies / toys to kids. They've done it in 28, 29, and 30.
Okay. And this is a new location, so they're probably going to do it.
And there's no Redemption Island.
Yeah. I feel like
it's a 20-person cast. They need a lot of rewards. And CBS, I mean, they talk about how fulfilling it is. And I mean, that was Wu's like biggest moment on the show in Cagayan.
That's probably why he got voted back on. Seriously. That
right, yeah.
Stealth mode. Like, those are the 2 things that really got him back on.
Right. Not his gameplay skills, not his final 2 picking skills.
No, definitely not. I just had one in my head and then it went away. Oh, what if we did one? Should we do another one for reward where we'll never go on a reward? Or is that just so specific to Rodney?
No, I think there are people. I mean, you're saying they have to make the merge. And
yes, it would have to be during the individual portion.
I think this one could almost replace merge boot. So, like, if you think someone's the merge boot, you can put them at this one. And it also applies to more people down the line.
That is true. Yeah, that's true because that does almost And then this could be multiple people and it's not just specific to merge boot, and it wouldn't be
but it does apply to the merge boot.
But the merge boot could also somehow win a reward. You know what? Like somehow could win the reward of the merge in case they did a reward challenge at the merge this year.
Right. I mean, I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, but
that rarely happens. But yeah. Okay. So that will be it's make the merge and not go on a reward.
Yeah. So almost like we'll never go on an individual reward, even though, you could be, it's like if you get picked for a reward, that counts.
Right.
Okay.
Do I need to include make the merge or?
Why don't you just put never go on a reward during the individual portion of the game?
We'll never go on.
Or after the merge, yeah. We'll never go on a reward after the merge.
What if it's not going on? What if you get like the pizza delivery?
Oh, that counts. That counts. Like when John, Jacqueline, and Natalie were in the bed, that counts.
Right. Okay. So we'll not
participate in a reward.
That's a good word. Will not participate in a reward post merge.
There you go.
All right. And I mean, we're assuming there's a merge here. What if it's a absorption? And none of these things apply because we
No,
put post merge.
no, the absorption counts. What was that? Only
Okay.
one
Okay.
time that
That's
happened.
yeah, only in plow.
Yeah. So if that happens on this season, that would stink. I can't see how they wouldn't switch it up. They're gonna switch it up and try to make it even further down the road. There's no way they let one tribe just get absolutely decimated.
Okay. So we're at that's 15. So we have 5 left. We have a good amount on the back burner. We have 2 crying ones, and then we do want to include one more about confessionals. So
Do we have
let's.
any
I think
comments on this video or no?
I don't think many people are helping us out here.
God, we don't have really anybody watching. That's why.
Right.
Let's look. All right, steel punch. Steel punch. Okay, some of these we can't do. I don't know. Maybe let's just read them off. Great idea, guys. I thought a couple. Oh, he started watching at 32 minutes. So if we already mentioned somebody said I thought a couple of good bets. Least confessionals, most confessionals. Merge boot, biggest bitch, biggest goat. We can't really like those are hard to do.
Yeah, it has to be definite.
Challenge dominator. We already did with the most right individual wins. We have that or will.
No, we just have will win at least one. Just
Okay.
will win.
Most rewards one. And then he says, "What episode is the worst tribal?" This is only for each person, though, individual. Like, so a lot of the ones that he came up with were more. We're trying to avoid ones that are like open to opinion. Like, we want these to have definite answers. Like, there's no opinion involved because some people might love Shireen and some people might hate Shireen. So you're trying to avoid anything like that.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to get into that. But thank you for the suggestions. Yeah, and they're not superlatives. We're trying to stay away from superlatives too. It's not the most or the least. It's kind of just
because you can't do like
you
most
accomplish.
surprising. Cass goes and survives 5 boots. I might say, well, that was more surprising than Joe going all the way to the end. Like it's too hard.
Right. Okay. How do we want to? We have another confessional one. You want to say like most confessionals? It's so tricky. How about we'll have an episode with at least 10 confessionals? That's a high number.
Does that happen every season now?
I think it happens more. I mean, Carolyn got 13 last season. In Cagayan, I'm sure Tony had one with 10.
Let's take a look. Natalie and San Juan del Sur had a 10. Josh had an 11. Jeremy had a 10. Tony had 2. Wu had 1.
Right. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
and then it's not like we're not. The bet won't be over by episode 2. So if we do the one where you don't get a confessional, that's going to happen in episode 2,
yeah.
Guaranteed. Someone in episode 2 will not get a confessional.
True. Very true.
Okay, so for 16, do you think 10's a good number?
Yeah, I think 10 is safe. I'm just looking at the older seasons. Blood vs. Water. Sierra was actually the only one who had 10 or more. Tyson never even hit it. Caramoan, Cochran, and Dawn hit it. So I think it does pretty much happen every season. I mean, Scoopin had one. Jonathan Penner had one. Troyzan had his 14 one in One World, which was ridiculous. I remember that. Yeah, it seems like I'm going all the way back to season 21, and everybody had 10. And then in Heroes vs. Villains, Coach had 11. So
season 21 is the last.
No, even there. And then season 20 they had it. Season 19 they had it. I'm going through all of them, and it seems like they all have it.
Is there any season where there's not a 10 confessional episode from someone?
China.
Wow. Gotta love China.
I know.
All right.
And Fiji, believe it or not. So I think the new thing is to have somebody dominate an episode, whereas back then they didn't. So I think we're safe with that one.
Okay, so that's number 16. We'll have an episode with 10 confessionals. Okay, so we have 2 confessional ones now. I think we've covered that.
Yeah.
We should pick one crying one or try to figure out a good way to do a crying one.
Yeah, there definitely has to be a crying one because they love the crying.
How about, all right, the loved one thing might be too specific because you have to make it to the loved one visit and not cry.
There has to be a loved one visit.
I think there will be. I think because people are going to have fun with it. They're putting like past survivors.
True.
Like Cass is picking Randy or something.
True. Okay.
I think they're going to do one. And what about letters from home maybe too? We can throw it in there. So will receive a letter and not cry.
My biggest problem with that one is what if we just
Or
don't show it? Like, what if we just don't know? Like, if the letters from home, I know last year Dan really ate up all the airtime with that, and Shireen.
I think they usually hit on everyone very, I mean, at least, I mean, I don't know.
It's not going to happen till late in the season. I doubt they would do it as like a. I mean, they have done it as a whole tribe though before. I don't know. That's a tough one. But there has to be something with crying because they always cry.
Yeah, that's something like almost everyone cries. So that's why I was thinking about how about just like won't cry the entire season, but then the early boots.
Yeah. I think almost like somebody will cry is better because if Savage were to get to like third place, is he going to cry? Like, I don't know. I know Will cried last year. Shireen cried last year.
But like
Jen
everyone
ever cry?
cries.
What?
What? I
Did
think
Jen ever?
everyone cries.
No.
Almost.
No. I don't think Joe did. I don't think Jen did. I don't think So did. I don't think Joaquin did. Rodney might have during the. I don't remember if
Rodney
he
did.
cried.
Rodney
He
cried.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
Lindsay didn't. You know, if you really
I guess,
think about it,
I guess the early boots don't.
yeah. I don't know.
What if someone like tears up?
That counts as crying. If
What if they're just like a little bit teary eyed, but they don't like cry?
oh
I mean,
God.
it's a little. I know. I'm just because this is what's going to happen. Then people are going to be commenting like, "I want my buff." Like,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, okay, I'm looking at last season though. So didn't cry, Lindsay didn't cry, Max didn't cry, Joaquin didn't cry, Vince didn't cry. I don't think Kelly cried. Haley, I don't think cried.
Kelly.
Sierra, Joe didn't.
Oh, Kelly. I think
Tyler
did
didn't.
Kelly not cry when she got hit in the head?
I don't think so. She just kind of stood there and took it.
Is there anything we can do with blood?
Yeah, first person to bleed. Or this person will bleed. I mean, they always, I mean, there's got
But
to be a challenge.
yeah, but everyone has bug bites and see. Yeah, this is where it gets kind of subjective. Like, how significant of bleeding do we count? Like, if someone like gets a scratch from a
Yeah,
bush,
that's
like
almost like because you could almost do something like this person will get injured, but like what counts as an injury? Because like the Dan thing getting stung by a jellyfish counts, but like would like somebody with a bug bite that they scratch count? You know what I mean? Like
or like a headache. I'm
yeah,
dehydrated.
exactly. God, I'm so tired. Like yeah, that's hard. These are hard now because I mean this is why I was having trouble coming up with them because I kind of thought along the lines of Steel Punch where it's like oh this person would be the most annoying, stupidest, you know, dumbest, smartest, like whatever, but it's hard to say really.
Yeah, those you don't. Yeah, we don't want to do superlatives. We want like definite. This
Yeah.
will happen or will not happen. Um, man. Well, either way, we're at 16. So let's just say we're gonna do one crying one. We haven't figured it out yet. We'll come back to it. Um, we have one idle one. Do we want to do another?
And you don't want to do just finding one.
I
Because if
mean,
we
we
do
could.
have one for playing it good, that should be one. But I mean, there could be three or four idols in this season.
Okay, how about yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just do okay, number 17 is we'll find an idol.
Yeah,
A hidden immunity idol.
yeah. Not, not
Not
they
like the
walked over to
team. Yeah.
they didn't walk over to the tree trunk and find the idol sitting there and just point at it. Yeah,
Well, that's how easy they are to find these days.
I know that's true.
Find the hidden immunity idol. All right, we need three more. And we have one. One is
What
crying. So we
what
have
if we
two
did
more.
what if we did something that was like we'll get a clue to something, or we'll share a clue about something. Like you know what I mean? Like how Dan got like the clue to his little box, and how Joe shared his clue with Mike. Like what would we do something like that?
I don't know. I feel like now that we have find an idol, it's like I don't know if a clue. They're going to be idol clues, right? So it's
Yeah.
I don't want to have
Yeah, a whole
three.
tribe could also find that.
Yeah, and I don't want you don't want to have three of these things doing with idols. I mean, we could, but I'm trying to think. I like what you were saying about editing. Like we
Because it's
already have
always
two.
fun. Like, is there another hashtag thing that they do? Like hashtag Survivor Breakdown? That could be the crying one.
Ooh.
You
Does
think
that
it?
come up that often?
I don't know.
I feel
I
like they
really
come up with hashtags like on the spot.
because I think it's funny how they've tried to incorporate social media into it, and sometimes it's gotten kind of ridiculous, like kind of funny and like just kind of stupid sometimes.
Is the hashtag is it hashtag blindside or hashtag blindsided?
Either way, that counts. Blindside or blindsided, but it's always been blindside. I'm pretty sure it's always
I
hashtag
think so
blindside.
too. Yeah,
But
hashtag.
what happens? What if we did this person will get their own like hashtag, kind of like how Jervis and Tyson got coconut bandits.
Yeah, or like Spy Shack.
Exactly, like this person will get their own hashtag. Like that would be something that's kind of fun, and you just kind of have to guess. Ninja stealth mode, chaos cast. Like these are all ones.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think it's a good one. I'm into it. That will be number 18. Will get a hashtag. Is that the right way to phrase it? We'll create a hashtag.
Yeah, we'll
Or
create their own hashtag, and it should be something new. It should like chaos cast shouldn't count.
no. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
we'll
create a
create
new
new
hashtag.
hashtag.
Yeah,
Or we'll come up with new hashtag.
because like even Rodney last year with the three C's. So
What if they don't say something? What if the editor, like with Rodney and Joaquin, like I think they did hashtag bromance, but that wasn't like a. Did either of them say that or?
well, Rodney said he was going out there looking for a bromance. I mean, I still think though they created like that was still them. Like Rodney or Joaquin, I think would have counted last year.
I'm thinking, like, does it need to be something they say and then is hashtagged? 'Cause that's very objective, and we could score that. But if the editors are just throwing out hashtags on players and they're not really
Okay, yeah, let's
saying,
do that then. We'll say something
we'll be
that becomes a
quoted in a
hashtag.
we'll be quoted with a hashtag.
Okay, yeah,
We'll be
that's
quoted in new hashtag.
yes, yeah. It's got to be new. It can't be chaos cast or three C's
Yes,
again.
cats does not count. All right, so we're at 18. We still think we're going to figure something out with crying, which leaves we have one more. And we also have wear the buff around their leg or ankle on the back burner, in case you forgot.
We do. I don't think we use that one though, because I don't think they're gonna do it.
When it happens, it's gonna
It's gonna be
now it's
so.
gonna happen.
What if it's like the first person like to lose something? Like last year, Dan lost his mantis, and even though he didn't actually lose them, like he lied about that. Still, like that would have been like he lost it. Somebody loses a machete. Somebody loses something. Like first person to, like misplace something or lose something. Not a challenge, but
Yeah, I don't it just seems that seems kind of subjective too. And it's like, are they gonna show us? They're only gonna show it. I don't know. I think I'm now thinking back to the silly music thing. I think that's pretty. I think we could create the rules so that it's very specific.
it's almost like
Yeah.
they'll get made fun of by the editors, like Russell Swan did, and Dan with the things he was saying last year. Like I don't know.
It's no, it's that specific. There's one song like, and it's known as like the stupid music.
Find it.
Do I need to find it now and then so we can play it and then
Yes.
I don't even know how that would work because I'm wearing headphones.
See if I can
Um,
find it.
yeah, what do you search? Like Survivor stupid music. That's such a
I keep getting stupid cancer anthem.
I don't know. Like if I heard it, I could tell you what it is, like exactly. Um, but I don't know. Is there something that we're not thinking of that we haven't even like included yet?
I don't know. Um,
We have one with Jeff. We have rewards. We have like immunities.
we got some more comments. We actually have a lot of comments.
Okay. Hopefully one of you has saved us.
Okay, Steel Punch. What if no one does any of these? Like, what if no one is quoted in a hashtag? Also, you're quoting Dan the Man. Well, we already covered. If these don't happen, like, sorry. Like, just don't put a lot of points on them. Like, I think that's gonna.
There's going to be a new hashtag. That's not. I mean, there's some of these might like mentioning Sandra or Parvati. That might not happen, but there's going to be a hashtag for sure, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, I think for sure. Jokesters 1, 2, 3. Last season, I just guessed the boot order without even looking at the contestants, and I won. Should I even try that again? God, Jokesters, you make. Oh, God, you're breaking my heart. I put so much thought into that, and I lost. Do this one without even looking.
Yeah, see how it works out for you. This one,
All
there's
right.
more
Oh,
strategy. You,
here's a couple more here. By Steel Punch, most tribal councils gone to, and we already did receives most votes, but most tribal councils gone to. But then that also favors the people who make it really deep.
yeah, I don't think we should do most.
Okay.
You have to make it past a certain mark. You have to go to 10 tribal councils.
Um,
But there's no guarantee that will happen either.
yeah. Um, how about the person will talk about going home at some point? It could be about food they want when they get home, talking about quitting, talking about home life around the time they receive letters, talking about it with their loved ones.
That's going to be everybody, right?
I think so. I think at least at some point everybody pretty
I
much
mean, if
mentions
you
I
bring
can't wait
up
to go
food,
home or
I think, yeah, if you include food in that, everyone's talking about food.
Giovanni or Liano. How about the hero, villain, invisible edit? The invisible one's really the only one that's set in stone, like the one that you can actually say happened. Like Gamer Girl went on to say, how about purple edit? Her person who never gets any rewards, which we did, like Tarzan, Christina, Rodney. Purple edit is someone who never gets any airtime. It makes it far like Brett and the person it was named after, Purple Kelly. Um, I mean, do we do least confessionals, but like least
How about
confessionals per
how
episode?
about this? How about you have 5 episodes without a confessional? I mean, that's what it would be, something like that.
That's true.
But we already have 2 in here that are confessional
We
based,
do. That's true. I just read through all the
right?
comments.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna
I
be
know.
totally safe.
Thanks for giving us them, but
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
God,
I mean,
this is
it's
tough
tough.
having one left.
Well, we have 2 because you think for crying? Because I mean, it just feels like a lot of people cry.
It does. I agree.
And are you thinking we'll be in the game for the loved one visit but won't cry? You think that's too specific?
I think that's too specific.
Yeah, I
I
mean
mean, I
that's
think what's going to happen is about half of the cast is going to cry and half of the cast isn't going to cry. Does that make sense?
I just feel like picking someone to cry is going to be pretty easy.
Okay. I don't know.
But maybe not. I don't. I'm thinking like if you're. I just don't want there to be any like, oh, I can just put this person's name. I'm gonna win. Like, are there any? Like, I feel like Shireen is gonna cry, and it's just too easy.
Well, here's the thing
This is
though.
your points right there.
What if
What if she
Shireen
gets
is
booted
also the
first?
one who mentioned Sandra and Parvati? You know what I mean? Like there could be. I mean, I don't know like where else she could fit in. Maybe she gets 10 or more confessionals in an episode. Like you're sure she's going to because she was on the last season. Like I think you still have to think about where you put everyone.
Yeah, it's like Yahtzee.
It is. It really is. Um,
All right, yeah. Let's do it. Let's just say we'll at some point cry.
okay.
So that's 19.
One more.
Oof. Is there anything else we can do with a buff? You know?
Oh, here's one. Here might be a good one. Giovanni or Orellano. I don't know how to say that. This one might be a good one, and I think that they mean it says how about most amount of episode quotes. That might mean like most amount of titles, like episode titles on your
Yeah,
quote.
I think that's interesting. Okay.
That's a
But
good one.
we shouldn't do the most. If how about just if you get an episode title?
I think that's good because I think a lot of times what happens is you might get half the cast who gets them. I know even Jeff Probst sometimes gets them. Um, I think that's a good one. And some episodes aren't named after quotes.
Right. But a lot are. A lot
Most of
are.
them are. That's a good one.
Do you think that's too similar to will be quoted in a new hashtag?
No, because I don't think they ever. No, I don't think so.
Not that it's the same, but like they're very similar. Um,
They are similar, but I think this one's different because now this takes into account something that like you can't even see coming beforehand. Like what is the name of the episode going to be? Like you don't really know
do they release names of episodes
a week in advance.
just a week in advance?
Yeah, they don't release them all the way ahead. They normally release them. I think they release them on Tuesday, which makes no sense. They release it for the next. They release it a week and a day in advance.
So 8 days in advance.
Yeah.
So if someone's entering this competition the night before, they'll have 2 episode titles.
No, I think only the premiere is announced at the first.
Okay. That works. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the crying thing, it has to be while you're in the game, right?
What do you mean? Like not in like not like in like last words or anything?
Yeah, if you got voted out and you start crying, like, because that we see that, or if they're on the jury, in the final tribal count, like trying to give a jury speech and they break down, like we see that.
Yeah. No, it has to be in game.
Okay, so still in the game, we'll cry while still in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 19, and then 20 is,
Get an episode. Like their quote will be an episode
we'll have an episode title
be their quote.
come from their quote, come from his or her quote. Boom, that's 20 right there.
Look at us. Thank you for that one, Giovanni, because that was
thank you. That's a great one.
I like that because that's random. I like random. I think random works better for this because no chance that one has no chance of being spoiled.
I think there's enough random and then enough like game stuff and enough editing that I think there's a good mix here. And with the betting strategy, it will be fun. So let's run down the final thing, and then we'll just go over the rules once more so that it's really clear. All right, so number 1 prop bet is blank will be the winner. Number 2 is we'll get a hashtag blindside. Number 3 is we'll successfully play an idol. Number 4 is we'll receive 10 or more total votes against them over the entire season. And that does not include winner votes. We'll be number 5 is blank will be a member of the jury. Number 6 is we'll win an individual immunity challenge. Number 7 is we'll get the most confessionals in the premiere. Number 8 is we'll mention the name Boston Rob or Russell. And we're counting Russell Swan, right?
Yeah, we are counting Russell Swan, so it's not just hands.
Are you sure?
I think we have to.
Why?
Because I think it's funny. Like I just think there's only been 2 people named Russell to play the game. So if they were to say Boston Rob, and if somebody mentions Russell Swan,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
and you called that Russell Swan was going to get mentioned because Monica might not bring anything up from Samoa. So I think you keep this one.
Okay.
Count Russell Swan.
Okay. So yeah. So number 8 is we'll mention blank. We'll mention the name Boston Rob or Russell. Number 9 is blank. We'll mention the name Sandra or Parvati. Number 10 is blank will be blindfolded at some point during a challenge. So this isn't them putting their buff over their face in the shelter.
Yeah.
Okay. 11 is we'll receive 5 or less total votes the entire season, not including winner votes. I'm going to switch the order here just because to make things more clear.
Yeah.
Wait a sec.
Move that one up to the 10 plus votes.
Did I already say the 10 plus votes?
Yeah, you did a while.
Oh, it's at number 4. It's too late. Too late. Sorry. So that will be number 11. We'll receive 5 or less total votes. Number 12 will be to give up a reward. Number 13, blank will give Jeff a hug. And this does not include the reading of the votes or reunion show. Number 14, we'll give school supplies / toys to kids. Number 15, will not participate in a reward post-merge. Number 16.
Oh yeah, that one might get confusing by not participate in a reward. We don't mean not participate in a reward challenge because that might be like swayed by food.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh, that could be a good one though.
That could be a good one. Now that just you saying that, I was like, I don't remember saying that.
Hmm. How about we have one? Do we want to change? Do we want to change this one or just leave it the way we intended? Because we could say, like,
We'll be tempted by food and
yeah,
not
we'll step
and not
down.
participate in the
Yeah,
reward.
we'll step down for food, or we'll not participate due to food.
Yeah,
I
let's
think.
do that instead. Let's do that instead because there's more of a chance of that happening than. Let's do that instead.
Okay.
'Cause that could also be funny, like if Jeff Varner makes it to a length challenge and ends up stepping down for peanut butter again or something. You know what I mean? Like it would just be funny.
Okay. We'll step down from a. We'll. Well, it'll be an immunity challenge though. Is when they do that.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine though. We'll step down or
Or not participate in
in a
immunity
challenge
challenge
for food.
for food. Look at us. That's a good one, I think.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, and this is, yeah, it's going to be post merge. So you got to think about who's going to make it there and then who is likely to do it. I think that's a good one. Okay,
Yep.
so that's number 15. We'll step down or not participate in immunity challenge for food.
Yep.
Okay. 16 is we'll have an episode with 10 confessionals
Or more.
or more.
Yeah.
10 or more confessionals. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay, 17 is blank will find the hidden immunity idol or a hidden immunity idol. Number 18 is blank will be quoted in new hashtag. Number 19 is blank will cry while still in the game. And 20 is blank will have an episode title come from his or her quote. That's a great one. Thank you, Giovanni.
Yeah. All right, I think that's good. And
That's
then
20. So we're gonna type these up, put it in the description so that you can look. I'll do a sample, what a sample one might look like. Just to show kind of what we want your submissions to look like. It's not too hard. You just list them in order with people's names, then you put 1, 2, or 3 after it. You have 40 points total to wager. So that's how many points you'll receive if you get it right. So if you put 3 for blank will become a jury member, you'll get 3 points. If you only put 1, you only get 1 point. You have to be a subscriber to enter, and we're giving away a buff for every 50 people that enter. So we'll probably, probably be around 3 to 5 buffs. We think we're capping at 5. Is there anything I'm forgetting, Phil?
no, I don't think so. Either comment. I think we should do either comment your thing on this video or the next one because the next one we're going to do is going to be our filling in of the prop bet. So I think that we should do it where you can do it on either video because I think that I don't think we'll get everybody on just one video because I feel like a lot of people are going to see this one and be like, oh, I'll put my things here. And a lot of people are going to see the next one without even seeing this one maybe and do that. So I think that it should be on either video. I mean, it's not that hard to go back, right?
Right. No, we'll just you can enter on either one just to make
just
it.
Post it in the comments.
Post it in the comments and make sure to subscribe. And then also make sure to turn your subscriptions to public. Because if you have your subscriptions set to private, then we can't even tell if you're actually subscribed or not. And then we won't be able to count your entry. I think that's it. Again,
Yeah.
we'll post the 20 down below, and then at some point, probably a week from now or something, we'll be doing our entries for this challenge because we can win the buff too. Let's not forget that.
And now, do you have to put a certain number of 1s and a certain number of 3s, or can you just do 2 1 points and 2 3 points and the rest 2 points, or?
Yeah, like you can't. The only rule is you have to have at least 1 on every bet. You can't put 40 on one bet, or you can't leave a bet blank. So you need at least 1, and then the maximum is 3. So Other than
It
that,
has to be. It has to equal out to be 40 total points.
or less. I
If
don't
you
know
really
why
want
you
to do
do that,
less. Yeah.
but that's okay too.
Yeah. You have to put one on each and three the most. Okay. Okay. I just wasn't sure if we were going to try to do it evenly, but that makes sense too.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for your help in the comments. I'm glad we got it all figured out. I think we have 20 interesting bets. And yeah, if you want a better chance at winning a buff, then tell your friends to participate also. All right. Thanks for listening. And yeah, we'll be back in about a week giving our answers to these bets. So yeah, good luck filling in the ballots.